I'm Steve Johnson, News Director for theDove TV. Check out our other videos and visit our website at thedove.us. Thanks. Well, welcome back to Focus Today. I'm Steve Johnson, along with a couple guests, Connie and Ted Aebischer. They are here for a while. How long are you going to be in the area here anyway?
Actually be in North America until June 22nd.
Oh, all right. So for a little while, that's good. They're with the Nazarene Missions International, and I know that you work in media and all the rest, which I think is a fascinating thing. We've talked about how what we're doing here and how you realize that, you know, originally it was a radio ministry, realizing the importance of video and how people are now able to get whatever video anywhere, how cell phone communications, it may not work if you go out into the wonderful forests of Oregon, but out in the Serengeti, it probably comes in just great. So I know media is so important that way. And so you're in the Asia-Pacific region, is that right? Give a scope of where your operations are based out of.
Yeah, the Asia-Pacific region extends basically from Australia and New Zealand in the south, north to Mongolia, picks up all of the Asia-Pacific or Pacific Island nations, and moves east to the borders of India.
So it's just a small regional area,
yeah,
he said tongue-in-cheek, right? How big an area is that? Have you ever looked at that from a mileage?
Absolutely. It encompasses fully 30% of the global landmass of the world and has 40% of the world's population, about 2.8 billion people.
Wow. Now, you're with Nazarene Church,
correct?
Is that right? And what, if you could summarize, what is the mission that you have there? What is your goal?
Well, the mission of the church as a whole is to make Christ-like disciples in the nations. I mean, that's our tagline, our mission, and really our focus. How do you do that in a region that has 8,000 unreached people groups, 2,000 languages? It's a massive endeavor. It can only be done through partnership with other Christian organizations, but that's our focus, is to be able to get out, reach the unreached people groups, reach into the cities. We have 7 cities of over 20 million in that region. We've got 4 of the 5 mega cities of the world. The city we live in, Manila, is a city of 27 million people.
And that's the big area. I mean, you're also extended out into very rural areas too.
Very rural areas.
I mean, probably only by boat, some of the places?
By boat, by airplane. In fact, I was in the highlands of Papua New Guinea a year ago. We have radio ministries, about 13 radio stations which broadcast into the highlands of Papua New Guinea. On the western edge in Papua, we have 44 unreached people groups that either by geography or personal decision are in areas that are absolutely isolated, no power, no cell phone, no radio. And we were up in the highlands and I was praying, Lord, does radio even get here? And I was talking to a friend and we left the little hut we were staying in, and here came a young man carrying a solar-powered radio. And that was the only communications connection they had to the outside world. And so it just reaffirmed the importance of radio to beam into those very remote areas.
Okay, so you are involved, let's transition to that, into media. In what capacity do you focus that?
Absolutely. We have the largest media center for the Church of the Nazarene in Manila. I've got a team there of about 13 that works in radio broadcast, video production, new media, which is web design, mobile application. We have found that with the growth of mobile technology in Asia, we are growing at 37%. The rest of the world is growing at 12%. Recent statistics tell us that the average Asian from China, Korea, India, they are downloading 3 times the data downloads that anyone else is in the rest of the world. And so we have developed some unique strategies for using mobile data, mobile phones to be able to expand the gospel message. It's pretty incredible.
Elaborate a little bit on that. What is that you have found that connects with your particular audience you want to have?
Well, we were just in one of the most densely populated Muslim nations in the world, and we had developed a strategy of contextualizing the gospel message. So for instance, this parable of the Good Samaritan. Excellent parable, because in those cultures and religions, to take care of someone who is not part of your faith is something that is just not considered done at all. And so we went into an area, taught some college kids how to take the parable of the Good Samaritan, contextualize it into the context of the place that they were living. And so the street vendor would be one individual and a motorcycle owner would be someone else. We taught them how to storyboard it, shoot it with their phones, edit it with their phones, and then reproduce this video that they could go up, share with someone, say, hey, look at this video I just produced.
Yeah.
Opens up a conversation piece, and then the person says, well, why would this person take care of this person? They're not of the same faith.
Starts a discussion.
And it opens
right,
up
yeah.
the opportunity to share the gospel of Christ. Well, God calls us to love others.
Have you put that on YouTube? Is that something we could see? The production?
It's not yet. We've done a couple pieces that the kids have produced on YouTube.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
Yeah, we're putting together a training pack. I'm getting ready to take that hopefully to Thailand this summer. So.
Oh, that's cool. Now, Connie, your role in this, how do you work in this? Are you a media mogul yourself?
I am not. I am not. I am the assistant to the regional communication coordinator, which is my husband, and I also have been tasked with NMI for the region, which is Nazarene Missions International.
Oh, okay.
So I help to encourage our local churches to be actively involved in missions, and having the media center, like we just had a request from Taiwan that they wanted a video, but they needed it to be in their language.
Sure.
So,
okay.
Hey guys, can you subtitle this video for me? Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
We're done.
Well, that's cool. Now, this is really a different emphasis with missionaries as we would traditionally think of it as being. I mean, I think just what you guys are talking about shows right there how media has become such an integral part of missions, at least this aspect of it. For the region you have, do you see this as the most effective way of connecting with the people groups that you're trying to?
You know, I think of, by all means, doing whatever we can to get the gospel out. We use the Jesus film quite effectively. We use...
And that would be in what language?
That would be in
Probably
multiple languages.
Any number of
That's
languages.
Right, multiple languages. We use print media to a limited extent nowadays because the new media, the mobile media, is so much more effective. We're very fortunate in the fact that we live at Asia Pacific Nazarene Theological Seminary, which is our major seminary for the region. We have at least 16 different language groups there, which gives us access to language assets, to subtitle, to create videos in the languages of the region. As she said, Taiwan asked for videos in their language.
Sure.
We're putting things together for as many languages as we can.
And this was already in the Philippine language, and they wanted...
It's actually in English.
It was, oh, okay.
Yeah, so we produce a lot of video for the regions of the world. We produce video for the United States. We produce video for, we're doing projects in South Africa, Russia. In fact, we did a piece here last year. Our first piece is in the Russian language, and very well received.
Now, the Philippines, it's an area with a heavy Muslim population, right?
Well, actually, more Catholic.
Catholic, okay.
As you move south out of the Philippines to Malaysia and Indonesia, you start to get into the more Muslim, densely populated areas.
And the difficulty that has been had with Christianity among those people groups, do you come up with different ways of reaching them than you would, let's say, to those in Manila?
You know,
is there a different way you have to approach it?
Everywhere we are, we use a different strategy. One of the most effective strategies, and I don't want to think of it as strategy, I want to think of it as just being the tangible hands and feet of Christ. You know, it's not up to us to develop a program. God is moving and drawing people to Him. We happen to be in probably the #1 typhoon belt tropical storm. You'll remember in 2013, Super Typhoon Yolanda hit us. They said that at this time it's the strongest tropical storm ever in the history of world record keeping to hit. We went down and just were compassionate hands and feet, providing food supplies, providing building supplies, providing medical teams. We worked together with Samaritan's Purse, with Heart to Heart International, with Hands of Hope, with International Relief and Development. We went into communities that weren't Christian, where we might have a small impact from a church, and provided medical support for the whole community, provided building supplies for the whole community, provided food for the whole community. And sort of the common theme was, why are you doing this? Other organizations come in and just take care of their church or their people, but you're coming in and taking care of a whole community. That opens up the opportunity to say, because we serve a Lord who tells us to be loving and kind to everybody, regardless of race, regardless of religious belief. And it really opened up doors to share, well, what is this faith? Who is this person you believe in? So that's an incredible strategy. If
no matter the changing technologies, it comes back to that same relationship.
And it comes back to the very core of, that's right, loving people for Christ.
And you're based out of Manila, is that right?
We are based out of Manila, that's right.
All right. Well, it's nice to get an update, as brief as this was, on what's going on in that area. And you'll be here for a few months, and then you'll be heading back there, I assume?
Right. We'll be in North America. We'll be speaking here on the West Coast, headed back to Idaho, and then be moving up to Canada. We've got some meetings in Canada. Giving people basically an update also of what's happening in Nepal. This has been, as you know, quite a traumatic couple days.
Yes, yeah.
And we've got some missionaries on the ground, some exciting things going on there. We've got teams headed in. One of the benefits of the Church in Nazarene is our churches on the ground. We've got about 3,500 churches in that area of Nepal, India, Tibet, Bangladesh. And having people on the ground gives us an opportunity to really be able to network and get resources out well. So.
All right. Hey, thanks for being with us. Ted and Connie Aebischer, they're with the Nazarene Missions International. Thanks for being with us, and keep us up to date with what's going on.
All right. Thank you very much for having us.
Coming up, we're going to be talking about an Oregon bill that's going through the legislature that could require your parents, the parents of a person who has an abortion, to actually pay for their abortion, whether the parents wanted to or not. It's kind of an interesting law that's going through the legislature. We'll tell you all about it coming up in about 2 minutes right here on Focus Today.